Good morning, everyone. To our representatives from the Cook Islands government, to our traditional leaders, to our esteemed panelists, and to all of our farmer organization family, just want to welcome you to this exciting event that we've been preparing for over a year. And I've been asked to provide a little bit of an introduction or some context into what we are really looking at this week. So you will see on our banner, we are talking about grassroots partnerships for Pacific solutions. Grassroots partnerships for Pacific solutions. Addressing climate adaptation and food security. And if you can see, there's a very important word on the bottom that says together. And next slide, please. We have a banner over here, and it should be up on the slide, where I hope to help us to get in the right headspace. What do we mean when we say grassroots? What do we mean when we talk about solutions? So here is the definition for us, grassroots. Initiatives or movements that are originating and led by the local community. Another definition for grassroots to get us in the right mind space. They are fundamental. They are starting at the grassroots level and involving direct participation of ordinary people. We are gathered here today as groups of farmers, as communities, to talk about solutions that are developed by local people. You can have a look at this banner over here. Pacific solutions by Pacific people. What is our definition of solution? Effective answers to challenges. This is what we are aiming for. Effective answers to challenges. And our final definition for solutions, let's not lose track of this word, innovative and practical approaches. Are we all on the same page now for the theme, grassroots solutions? Do we understand the grassroots that we are talking about and the solutions which we are aiming for? Next slide, please. I would like to share again the backdrop for what we are working to address. According to FAO, 3/4 of Pacific population live in rural areas. That is the grassroots. 3/4 of the Pacific people that live in the rural areas. Agriculture is the main livelihood of the majority of all Pacific Island populations. Over 70% of Pacific Island populations derive their livelihood from agriculture. And 95% of that are family farmers. These are the grassroots that we are talking about. What are the challenges that need solutions? Climate change is first and foremost. But related to climate change is food security. And associated with food security are the major challenge of non-communicable diseases. And I look around the room at my Pacific Island brothers and sisters from 14 countries, and they see pictures of cyclones on weather radars and flooded farms and crops being destroyed by drought. These are the reality. These are the things that are impacting livelihoods for 3/4 of the population of the Pacific. 3/4 of all the citizens of your countries. But it's not all bad news, because local solutions and innovations also abound. We have a lot of challenges, but there are also a lot of solutions and innovations by local people. And many of them are in this photo and in this room, solving the issues that they face on a daily basis. What do you do when it doesn't rain? What do you do when it rains too much? What do you do when there's a cyclone 100 kilometers off the coast? What do you do when your local store doesn't have the seeds that you need to plant the vegetables that you were intending to grow? These are local people providing local solutions to these problems. And I want to just share a few of these examples. I start in Samoa, where they are taking their markets virtually, using technology, phones, to be able to connect directly with customers. And then in Tonga, where farmers are working to use ICTs to be able to more effectively manage their farms. Also in Tonga, improving vanilla production through very simple guides to help farmers to produce the highest quality vanilla and take control of the value chain. In the Solomon Islands, turning their backyards into an oasis of green. In New Caledonia, linking up school canteens with local produce so that children not only need to eat the imported processed products. These are examples of local solutions by local people. In the Cook Islands, backyard gardening using keyhole gardens. Again, in New Caledonia, the promotion of agroforestry. In Fiji, the Tell a Woman program that helps provide practical advice for backyard gardeners through women as conduits of technical information. Models for non-formal education in rural areas. So really, grassroots organizations, I propose to all of us today, are essential for a few things. Number one, grassroots organizations are essential to tap into traditional knowledge and innovation, to help provide key services to rural people, to help amplify the voice of rural people, and finally, to bridge the gap and extend the reach of what government and development partners are aiming to do. I have a few illustrations. I'm sorry if it's not that clear and my panelists who can't see it. But what we are talking about is a new approach where instead of governments and development partners having to go directly to all of the farmers or rural people spread on all of the islands, they can partner with local organizations to extend the reach even further, to make sure that the most remote islands, the most rural people are still being serviced with local solutions. That grassroots organizations improve the flow of information. So instead of government having to talk directly to all of the rural people, they can work through these farmer organizations to convey important information about policies and programs. But that the grassroots organizations can also take the voice of the rural people up to the governments and up to the policymakers. When it comes to agriculture extension, we have an emerging model where the limited resources that we have in our governments and in our development partners can be maximized through partnerships with farmer organizations. Again, it's about taking the little resources we have and trying to make them extend further. And then, grassroots organizations connected regionally and globally greatly enhance these efforts. I have showing this slide up here that shows a web of local organizations in our different Pacific Islands where our farmer organizations are present that are all connected through our regional network. This means that a farmer in the Marshall Islands can be connected to a farmer in the Solomon Islands and in the Cook Islands when those farmers join their local farmer organizations, which then joins at the national level, which brings us together in events like this, where Pacific people can share Pacific solutions with each other. And that's exactly what we're going to be doing for this week. We have our Grassroots Partnership Symposium today. We have our Stars of Oceania tonight. Tomorrow we have our Global Breadfruit Summit. On Wednesday, we are looking at Pacific agriculture solutions in depth. On Thursday, we are doing a farmer-to-farmer exchange. And I hope you will take some time to look at the program that's on your table to see the depth of information that all of our farmer organization representatives will be privileged to share, and then most importantly, to take back to their communities. And you can start to get this idea of this interconnected network where we can really reach all of the Pacific Islands, and not just their government leaders, but the rural people with these solutions. So I'm very privileged and honored to be a part of this revolution that is taking place, where Pacific people and Pacific solutions are working to address these major challenges. And we are very privileged to have the support of government and development partners that believe in this new way of doing development, that recognizes the power that exists within communities to help solve their own problems. Thank you very much.